Well, talking love, talking relationship goal setting, personal goal setting, we have none other than the two perfect people to discuss this with this morning on the show. And in fact, introduce them to us.
I'm personally elated, delighted to introduce to you Delasie Dogbey. Now, Delasie is my special person here today because
he's centered on relationship.
Yes, he's got a huge job this morning. I represent all the women in this country with challenges in relationship this morning.
Yeah?
So if you watch me, I'm a challenge facing you. Yes, and so he's a motivational speaker, idea generator, he's a relationship expert, tall list. I mean, he's worked with a lot of A-list companies. Maybe I can get time to go through because it's a whole CV, honestly. I'm personally humbled and it's my pleasure to introduce to you Delasie Dogbey.
He has solved a lot of relationship problems in a lot of companies.
He solved me too, mine. Okay, now your favorite Emmaline, you know Emmaline, she came here to talk about personal branding. This is where you fell in love with her. No need for a huge introduction. You know her already. She'll spark up your morning and she would help you how to achieve that goal that you're setting for 20. We don't trust you. We know we spoke about it in December, but this is a reality.
We need to make a follow-up and be
sure
that you are actually following those goals. Welcome.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
How in order to say Happy New Year?
Yes, you can.
Say it to the end of the year.
Yeah. They say, why is a little daughter not rich? Our relationships all in good standing.
Personally?
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes. I've been dating my wife. I dated her 9 years. We have been married for exactly 9 years. So almost 18 years together.
You are the relationship expert, so I'm leaving that to you. Then I'll come to Emmaline on goal setting.
Goal setting.
Are we achieving our goals?
Personally or generally?
Personally.
Oh, personally, yes. Personally,
Reason why
yes.
you're sitting in this
Exactly, I was going to say that.
Okay, so we have a backstory for you. Stay with us and watch this. We'll come back to have a conversation.
It's the last week of January, and by now, resolutions are firmed up and work towards realization kicked in. Is that the case? How about your goals? Have you assessed how realistic they are to start with? And oh, how about timelines? Goal setting is a major component of personal development. It involves an action plan designed to motivate and guide oneself or group. But how much effort should go into this pursuit? And what should one do differently? Like the saying goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. The painful reality, though, most people are ill-prepared for the long haul, and the vicious cycle of failures continue. In the end, relationship and family goals are extinguished. Career or professional prospects and growth are stifled, leaving us disappointed in the end. Perhaps it's a good time to round it all up and get down to it. Now, let's talk positioning oneself to make a difference this year.
Bullseye. I like that last shot on there. It means that we have to focus on the things you want to achieve. But the question is, how do we achieve them? Easier said than done. And that's why you're here this morning to help us, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we say it all the time. In December, we start preparing ourselves for the new year resolutions. We enter January and, you know, we are so focused. The first 2 weeks is very easy to achieve. And then beyond that,
it gets chaotic.
Reality sets in.
Catastrophic.
I know.
Let's come back to goal setting and even how to set a goal in the first place. We have achievable goals. How not to think of the overly ambitious goals that we know in reality will not be able to achieve them. We say we want to save money and make money by December, and sometime in November, then you check your bank balance and it didn't happen. And it just snapped right before you. How do we even set achievable goals in the first place?
Okay, so first of all, you need to lay the foundation properly. There's always this myth of everybody thinking that it's automatic that before the year ends, you need to set a goal for next year. So everybody is all excited about the craze of, hey, New Year resolutions, New Year goals and all of that. But then, as a human being, a normal person who has also been part of the queue, I've come to know that it's not just automatic that you set goals. The first thing people need to understand is, why are you setting the goals? What are your goals supposed to achieve? Are you inspired by what you want to achieve? So what I tell people is that your goals must be connected to a purpose. When your goals are not based on purpose, you obviously will not have a reason to pursue it. It's as simple as that. And goals are supposed to be inspiring. You know, when you say how goals are achievable, they are achievable because they are relatable. Things that relate to what you are empowered to achieve. So when you're defining a goal, what is a goal? It's a desire, something you desire to, should I say a desired end, all right, which you plan, you envision first of all, you plan towards, and you commit yourself to it in order for you to achieve it. Okay, so achievable goals are goals that are connected to a personal vision or your purpose. Without that, it's just a whim or a wish.
That's interesting, eh?
Yeah, that's true. Let me go to Delasie. I know that you have a marketing
I know you just can't wait to discuss the relationship.
I'm behaving. I'm composed. I'm more composed this morning. I know that you have a marketing background.
Yeah, sure, I have a marketing background.
I hear most lecturers will say, you know, when you're setting goals, it should be smart.
Exactly.
Okay, I don't know if you can help us go through the smart, she's giving us the foundation. But now straight to the point, if I take my pen and paper with my foundation well laid, how can I set smart goals?
Okay, thank you very much, Emefa. What happens is that a lot of people who are in relationships do not share common visions. They don't know each other. So before, exactly, that's a problem that a lot of people have. And I'm sure that the first night when people were praying, they did not pray for their relationships.
That's true.
Exactly. So the first thing you need before you set the SMART goals is that you need to have a common vision. Two people, common purpose. Where are we going? What is the way forward? Do we know each other? And then you sit down and set your goals and say, okay, we need to set specific goals. What are specific goals? You don't need to set goals that are, you know, I want to improve on communication. Which aspect of communication do you want to improve on? For example, a lot of women complain that men do not listen.
That's true.
Exactly. So if you want to...
A lot of women complain
men do not listen. For example, I'm also guilty sometimes. I'm multitasking and my wife is telling me about her day. And then I understand what she's saying. I know what she's saying, but I don't get exactly where she's going because I'm not listening. That's one way, specific goal. So this year, I want to set a specific goal. I want to listen more to my partner when it comes to relationship. Yes, sit down when they are talking, you listen. Oh, is that so? You repeat what the person has said. You ask questions. That is one of the specific goals.
Okay.
Is that measurable goals. Sometimes when we are setting goals in relationship, it's crazy. I want to marry in the next 5 years, 10 years. No, you need to improve on what you have now. You need to, let's say, in the next 3 months, can I measure the goals? For example, okay, you have improved on your listening skills. So last year, early in the year, my wife was complaining that, listen to me. So I decided, you know what, when she's talking, my phone is away, I'm listening to you. There are times when I take my notepad, I'm listening to you, but that's artificial. But after some time, she noticed that now this time you are listening because I asked her a question, what happened to that project? Did it work out? That thing you wanted to do, did it work out? And then achievable. Sometimes when we are setting goals, they are so crazy. And then when you set crazy goals, what happens is that you end up disappointing yourself because it's far-fetched, it's too huge. It's always important that, for example, when I'm training my salespeople, I tell them that set goals that you can, I want to achieve, let's say, a target of 100 in a month. Or let's say I want to achieve 30 in a month. One business or one case a day is enough. At the end of the month, you're excited about it. Yeah. Realistic goals. We are all dreamers. We love to dream. Dreams will come to pass. But set goals that you can achieve so easily.
I want to ask, so what about when distractions come in? And is it okay to change, sometime in your quest for achieving a certain goal, sometimes you get distracted and a distraction might seem like, this is something that I want to change. Is it okay to switch, sometimes, and without feeling that you were a failure at the goal you set already?
So it depends on the kind of distraction. Is it a positive one? When you say distraction, something is taking your attention from something you are meant to do. So maybe it might not be a distraction. Maybe plans didn't go well. So maybe if that's what I gather from what you're saying. Because if it's on a negative side, it means you're not really serious about what you really wanted to do in the first place. So like he said, why did you not achieve that goal? What is distracting you? If it's a discipline issue, deal with it. Discipline is the ability to focus on something and get it through to the end. Now, if life happens and you might say, okay, I wanted to do something, and something, disrupts you, there is nothing wrong with evaluating your goal. Your goal should be readjustable. and you should be able to, you know, be able to adjust it in a way that it will still help you achieve your goal. So yes, it is possible for you to tweak it, but at the end of the day, make sure it is connected to what it is that you want to achieve. So it's normal.
How long should we set goals? You see, sometimes we use year 365 and
to set the goal,
to set the
goal,
goal, to achieve the goal. I beg your pardon. Yes, correct. To achieve the goal. And is it something that must always be a yearly affair? Because I find it very difficult to. I don't even hear a lot of people setting quarterly goals or setting daily goals. You know, we're always looking at the end of the year. This year, 20 for make money.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
year. It's never today. So it's kind of a culture that we live with.
I think that would be the last point on the SMART goals, the time.
The time. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I always say that it depends on what situation you are in. For example, if I bring you to a relationship, if you just met somebody, will your goals be a year goal? No. I want to know you, probation, we could call it probation. I want to get to know you 3 months, 6 months. If we have been dating for a while, what is the next step? The next step is that, for example, we've gotten to the maturity stage, we feel we are compatible, we know each other, then maybe we can decide, okay, we can handle our troubles together. We can be in the same bedroom and survive. So why don't you plan a wedding? So you decide that a wedding 1 year, 2 years. So it always depends on the situation you are in before you set timelines for your goals. Okay. Otherwise, you end up disappointing yourself. So it's important, 3 months, 6 months, and then a year. But it's also important to always revise your notes. That is why goal set is very important. If you don't plan or you don't set goals, you run autopilot. It means that you just wake up and then you just go, come. But if you have, going back to your question, if you have a goal, what it means is that then you're focused. And life, anything can happen in this world. Last year, a friend of mine was head of one of the banking institutions. The next time, he was driving Uber, and the wife and family had to adjust to it. That's what happens in life. But they didn't sit down crying. They had to find a solution. So that is how it works.
So still staying on goals here.
Sure.
If you're two persons or if you're a team and you have a common goal, should you have, how well can your individual goal affect the umbrella goal? Say boyfriend and girlfriend. Jay, please.
I think even that's what I meant by distraction. Sometimes when other people's
when you have a common goal, we're together and our goal is to achieve this. However, I am an individual coming from a whole world coming to you to meet you. I've got my own goals.
Exactly.
How well is it okay to have my own goals in the first place when I'm going
and
to
not
be a
seem
team
selfish?
And not seem selfish. Is it okay to have my goal first, to still be in a relationship or some sort of a teamwork or partnership?
That's a very good question. And that's something that affects a lot of people. The first thing is that we are different people coming together, different backgrounds, different cultures and everything coming together. We have different aspirations. The most important thing is that we try to make sure our goals intertwine, our goals connect. There's a middle point, and the two of us understand that we are individuals. For example, I'm passionate about something, and I always want my wife to be a public speaker. That is not her style. For a long time, I've been pushing her that you need to speak, you're good. No, that's not what I love to do. I love to sit back and counsel people. Exactly. So I always give her pressure, but I got to understand that no, she has that part where she wants to rather counsel people. She's the indoor person, that kind of thing. So we learn to, accommodate each other. We learn to compromise. So it's important that I support you, you support me. But at the end, the vision together, where are we going to? When you're in a company, what happens is a lot of people join companies that they don't have the same goal, they don't have the same vision, mission. So at the end of the day, what you are doing, for example, if you believe in what your organization is doing, when you are undertaking personal training, you make sure that whatever you are studying fits into what you are doing. Okay. But if not, you'll be looking outside and trying to do other things. So it's important that we understand that as two people coming together, we have our personal wants and preference. But the most important thing is in relation is compromise, the middle point, where we set boundaries, where we communicate and find out that...
Who determines the middle point?
The two parties. What happens is that, for example, I handled an issue recently where the two couple, the woman is a corporate person. It's not her plan for her to run a family. And the man expects the wife to be a home person. Long term, it ended in divorce. And if you turn it around, I have friends who the man understands that, oh, you are the corporate person. I'm an architect. I love to work from home. I can pick the kids anytime you are not available. They understand each other. So the two parties must. It's a must. It is not it is democracy, whether you like it or not. You need to sit down and discuss.
It's democracy. That's
Yes.
good. I'm going to come back to you
Sure.
on a follow-up question. I hope that I don't forget. But Emmeline, so you know, in your earlier submission, you said that life happens, really, and it's true. You can just wake up to a disaster. You can wake up to good news as well. Now, if the good news is so good, so much, that
Temptingly good.
yes, it's so good so much, it really turns your goals away. Like it can push your goals so much away that it's either you're for the goal or for this good news. Shall I give you a practical example?
Yes, I think so.
Okay,
Why
so
do I make it sound like you've been through a situation that
You know,
spill the beans? Give us the
It's
practical
important.
example.
I'm going to disappoint you. Okay, so you have a goal of probably becoming a hairstylist. Is your goal. So you're going to hairstyling school, you're learning about it and all of that. Then, boom, you have a call from a friend who says that, oh, I've got this company. Is good. It pays like, you know, such a huge amount of money. And, you know, what do you do? Because these are worlds apart. Yeah. They're not even close for you to say that it's okay to multi-achieve it. So what shall I do? Because me, really, this is life and it's Africa. There's something called hunger.
I know, right?
Yeah, so how do I manage it?
So one of the things goals help us to do is that it helps us to set priorities. You see, goals are not just on its own, or they're not on their own. Oh, I've said goals, so that's it. No. It's an art, if I would say that. I mean, life is planned, yeah? Like I said before, you need to plan. You envision something, you plan towards it. When something is tempting, I mean, I think almost every one of us who have been called to certain things face those challenges, you know? And you ask yourself, the plan to stick to let's say to set a legacy, or the plan to feed my stomach, which comes first? There is nothing wrong with any of the decisions, to be honest. You need to understand your current situation. What will best serve you? Understand that goals doesn't have to be cancelled. They can be put on hold, but it doesn't have to be cancelled. Because if at the end of the day, you are still not motivated to achieve your goal because you're thinking of that big job, then as far as I'm concerned, the passion is more towards money than what you want to achieve. So at the end of the day, nobody can tell you how to set priorities. You alone know what you need. You alone, you know what you want. If you've given yourself timelines that by this time, I want to have achieved this, then something this juicy comes in. So you ask yourself, this job that is coming that will pay me so much. Now remember, big jobs like that, they come and they normally make you sacrifice your dreams.
It's a whole life-changing thing.
It's not a crime if you sacrifice your dreams, if you are feeding your tummy. But at the end of the day, when you start the job and you see that you are not fulfilling yourself, because at the end of the day, if you're not motivated on that job, it affects you. What do you do?
Yeah.
So what I noticed is that some employers are being smart. They notice that some of their employees are very multi-talented, and some of the things they do may not be something that was part of the strategy of the business.
Yes.
And there's what we call losing your employees to yourself. So for example, like you said, maybe, let's assume you're even already working.
Right.
And I noticed that as my employee, you love to do hair, you love to do, and it's nothing related to your job.
Right.
Then I ask you, so what you are doing, and at the end of the day, I risk losing you because you're good on your job as well.
Yeah.
What do I do to you? Emefa, this hair thing you are doing, how can we in a business see how we can connect, collaborate, so that I don't lose you? So work-life balance. Do I need to give you flexible hours to work? Do I need to look for a way to see maybe if I have a wardrobe department in my business, for example, can you head that business? Okay. I know of a woman in HR. She's one of my leaders in the industry. The company has seen that she's a mentor and a coach. So she has designed a mentorship and coaching program under the name of the company.
Right.
So she's being paid well and she's still serving her purpose. So it's about planning, basically.
Before we go on a quick break, I have a very difficult situation I want to share with you, and this happens in a lot of relationships.
Right.
If I smiling, and I'm leaving for you to actually think through. And when we come back from the break, we'll discuss it. So, a couple, well, they're not married, they're not legally married, but they've been living in the same roof for about 5 years. They're in their late 30s, so entering to 40. Okay, and then their spiritual goals. So the female decides to set a spiritual goal of not being intimate anymore. And then that equally affects the partner. So is the woman being selfish in not consideration of the partner she lives with Or it is right for the man to also decide to, okay, you set your goal that is affecting me. I also set my goal deliberately to also affect you one way or the other. When we come back, I want us to look at this situation that the couple find themselves in. Don't go away. Quick break. We'll be right back.
This is
Yes, and welcome back to our discussion this morning. We're talking about goal setting, both in relationship and, of course, in your personal life as well. And we put that preamble to you where a couple have been living together for a couple of years, you know, about 5. Well, not a couple per se, not married legally, but they've been living under the same roof for
Please
about
add all the caveats.
for about 5 years on. And the lady decided to set a spiritual goal. We've been discussing sharing common goals, but now I wouldn't say selfishness, but the lady decides to set a personal goal, a spiritual goal, you know, to stay away from intimacy for a while. And of course, that greatly affects the man. Now, in that situation, it's quite complicated, and I know a lot of people you know, face this situation once, you know, in their life where a partner decides to stay away from being, you know, intimate, and then it raises all questions for the other person. I don't even know how to coin a question around the situation, but what should the man or the woman, depending on who it affects, do?
That's very complicated. But as we always, before you get into a relationship, you need to define the reason why you are in that relationship. A lot of people get married, or a lot of people are in a relationship and they think that obviously it should end in marriage. But that's not the case. Some relationships, you get to know each other. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, we move on. Others will say, okay, long term, we are going to stay together. So now,
very soon, some people will be saying that, hey, I'm dating you, not that I'm going to marry you. I'm just dating you.
No, you get to know, you need to find out if I can survive with you.
Yeah.
And marriage is a long-term thing where you go ups and downs. You need to make up that, to take that decision. So what is happening here is that the woman, they've been living together for a while, and she decides that, okay, my spiritual goal is that no sex. But I'm thinking that the no sex means that, you know what, if you want me, move to the next level. That is what is happening here. And you also want to ask, what was the discussion about? How many years do they want to cohabitate? How many years do they want to stay together? Naturally, it gets to a point when you feel that, you know what is the next level? Because when you are together, there's nothing binding you. You feel there's something missing in there. You feel that what is going to happen? Most often, people don't communicate. They don't discuss what are we going to do in this situation. So what a lot of men will tell you is that I'm doing a program next week, and I asked my friends, 10 things you wish you knew before you got married. And one said that, you know what, I wish I knew that women will use sex as a bait to get other things. That's real talk. Sometimes you just look at the surface and say, okay, she's saying my spiritual, I don't want to have sex. I don't want us to be intimate. But when you delve deep, she's telling you something. So you, the man, needs to find out what is the next step, what's the next level. If you decide that, you know, I'm going to do my own thing and all that, long term, it will affect your relationship. Whatever you're doing will go waste. So in relationships, another problem is that we don't communicate enough. We don't find out. We don't sit down and say, okay, it's good for you to, you know, be spiritual, but you also have to look at my needs. Then she will tell you that yes. Then she will give you the reason why she's decided to go spiritual. And the reason why is that she's asking an indirect question. What next, in most cases?
Do you have...
But the follow-up question, which I'm very interested in. So is it okay for the man to also set a goal of looking for a sex partner? My goal is to have a partner that I can get intimate with. Is it okay if you also did that?
Okay. If it was a marriage situation where legally you're supposed to give, it is your duty to give the sex, that one you try and compromise. But this time you are cohabitating, you are together. When you go out, it will affect the relationship.
I think
that's goal. When you are setting goals, you need to set goals that are realistic, that are
within the boundaries of understanding.
Exactly. Yeah. So that goal means that it's a goal that will go work against the relationship. So for me, if it goes, what will happen is that divided attention and fast forward.
Has this man had no sex before marriage? Has he had it before?
Exactly.
So there's no problem.
So if you want it, sign the deal.
Emmaline, what would you have to say to such a situation? Does it make the woman be selfish, that this is a selfish goal that you have set?
You know, when we use the word selfish, we always think that selfishness is bad. Sometimes you need to think of yourself. Now, but for me, I want to ask, what is her reason for saying she doesn't want to be intimate or have sex
She
with
just
the
wants
man.
she wants to be intimate
You want to be
with God.
spiritual. So it means
Yes.
you feel something is wrong somewhere.
Yes.
You see, when you are dating or when you're not married, but you're in a relationship, you see, your commitment level is just to assure each other that we are going this way, like Delasie said. But understand that the moment the guy says, you know what, you don't want to have sex anymore, I'm going out, you are not committing adultery. You are making a decision. And when that happens, you know what you're telling each other? This can't work. I don't see why you should even drag it in the first place. We want two different things. If we're not meeting each other halfway, so you go your way, I go my way. I don't see it. You see, as Delasie said, when you are married, then you are obligated to compromise. You are cohabiting. They know that they are cohabiting. I don't know why they decided to cohabit and don't want to get married. Some people just feel like a piece of paper is just stress. So if you don't value marriage and you value cohabitation, then cohabitation, you should be ready for things like this. So the man understanding that, listen, this woman says she wants to be spiritual. As he said, listen, why? She feels that she's far from God. Why? Because she thinks she's doing the wrong thing. If the man does not have the same value of being spiritual, you're going to have problems. If it's the lady that is the one who has the issue, just let her understand that the moment their values are beginning to differ, they should just part ways like peacefully. They shouldn't even stress it. It will not work.
Jay, we're going to give you a task.
Yes.
Go back and ask the lady how long she wants to be celibate. You know,
Is it also is it right for the woman to strategically use something as, let's say, intimacy to demand a confirmation of their relationship
pass
legally?
the question over to me to pass over.
Please, I'm passing over to you to pass over.
If that's all you've got, if there's nothing else for you to use as a bait, then what else are you going to use? But anyway, it's not my job, it's his job. So.
Is it that because you set a spiritual goal, it supersedes all other goals that's anybody? Is it that we are saying that spiritual goals are at the top of the priority list, that no other goal is much more important than a spiritual goal?
Again, it's in context. If you are cohabitating, for her, in that space, the spiritual cleansing herself is more important to her. You understand? When you are married, spiritual will mean a lot. Even when you come together and you have sex, God is happy. When in marriage, you understand. So in that context, she can decide that this is what I'm using.
Applicable to persons. Now, not to say I'm Christian. I have strong Christian values. Just a disclaimer. What about people who do not believe in the existence of a supreme being? I mean, yes, they are right, and it's their belief. It's what they were born into. So does it mean that a spiritual goal, your spiritual goal that you find as your priority, it's supersedes any other thing that I believe in? Not me, but the person.
I'm not sure that is what it suggests. It only tells you that what I find important, do you find important as well? Beyond being spiritual, look at other goals, financial goals, how you train your children. I want my children to be homeschooled. No, I want them to go to school. I want to discipline my kids by beating them. No, I prefer talking to them. I mean, values are what binds people together. If I do not believe in a supreme deity, I don't see what business I have with someone who believes in one. It won't work. So what we're not saying one supersedes the other. Now, if she's, the way you use the word bait in relationships, then I think that you don't have a relationship. A relationship should be smooth. It should flow. There should be collaboration. We are different, but can we collaborate together to make it work? If at the end of the day my values are not being met because of our relationship, obviously it means that you're not the right person for me. Like Delasie said, dating and courtship does not automatically mean you will get married. You will get married when I discovered that with all we've been through together, we share a lot in common. We fought through thick and thin. We cannot live without each other. We have the same goals and visions in life. We want to achieve something together. There will be nothing like I have a spiritual goal.
I think they are trying to get to you.
They are trying to get to you.
Have you not met, sometimes you think before they say you think before I thought, that kind of thing. Before Emefa says something, the boyfriend has said it. That kind of a thing, But when she comes and says, I want to develop myself, or your wife says, Jay, I think I want to step up my personal goal. If you really love your spouse or your partner, the person's goal should be important to you. Selflessness. The moment both of you are givers, because I hear a relationship is between two givers and forgivers. The moment I think of you, you also think of me. There will be no reason for me to think of a bit in the first place. So the moment you identify that your relationship is being frustrated by separate goals that cannot be met, it is advisable to advise yourself at the end of the day.
Like I said, Jay needs to go and bring the case study. I think so. Because a woman will want to just be spiritual, not because she thinks she's not doing something right. Maybe she's cohabitating and then she thinks probably she's having sex and right now she wants to withdraw. There's so many things that want to make a woman want to take that decision.
Exactly,
Hormonal changes are there. Mood is there. Or she's got a demon she's dealing with. When I say demon, you mean maybe demon of not eating.
Counselor Emefa.
Something. It could nearly not
we
be.
need to identify that before we even give an advice.
Exactly. So that's the problem with cases.
So change the scenario and then make the man be the one who decides to pull out. Then they say, hey, you are cheating. Yeah, we want to hear from you as well.
The possibility of a man cheating is higher than a woman because then they are moved by two
that
things.
Conversation is another debate for another day.
That's true. But anyway, I'm just going to get Emmaline to get ready to give us practical tools to help us achieve our goals. Practical tools to help us achieve our goals. So before she gets to, maybe by the time she's making her way to the board, I want you to probably also take this number down and write it down. Just maybe before the show ends, you can get to call us. So call us on 0246 807983. 0246 807983. 0246 807983. So, Emmaline.
Yes.
This board looks nearly taller than you.
I'm surprised.
But hopefully we can get it. We can get all
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
I will try my best. I will try my best.
Okay.
Okay, so practical tools to help you achieve your goals. Now, these days, we who try to train people on how to achieve our goals or to set practical goals, we normally tell them that without being, like you said, being what's the word, realistic, you can achieve it. So what are the tools we can use to help you achieve your goals? So there are three things. We have what we call a vision board. I don't know if anybody has heard of it. These days is now the new normal. We have a vision board, we have an action board, okay? And then we have a motivation board. All right? So now, forgive me, I don't like writing,
good talker.
So yeah, I'm more of a talker. So when we say a vision board, most people also refer to a vision board as a dream board. Something that makes you, it's a visualization tool. So I'm going to use Emefa and J as my subjects.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to draw a board. So let's draw the board. Practically, you use what we call cut images. So you get a paper, something like a board, like paper board.
Right.
And then let me divide this into like, so this is 6, right? So let's assume you have 6 goals. So you're going to let me know which goals you want to achieve. So for example, marriage, if you're not married, so married, then maybe you want to get a basketball court or something. You want to have so we have family goals, business goals, career goals, social goals, whatever goals you want to have.
I'm sorry, I have to keep you standing for just a second.
we have a caller on the line real quickly. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes. Your name again, please.
Yes, my name is Joseph. I'm calling from Pokwase.
Joseph from Pokwase, talk to us.
Yes, please. Yes, there's something you discussed just a while ago. I think I was an example. Me and my wife, we had the same program. We stayed together for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And then the Lord spoke to me that what we are doing is not right. So we are on the same church. So we have to understand each other. So for 2 years, before we got married, we did a wedding. There was nothing like sex. We have to understand ourselves. I told her that. Wow. And there were other secret activities in the church, like Lord's Supper. So at that time, we stopped going to the Lord's Supper. We do not go again until we were able to get married legally and then had a wedding. So it is a decision. The two people must understand that this is what we are in for. This is our belief. We believe that this is what the Lord is saying. So let us stay aside and make sure that when the time comes, we'll be able to face what we are facing. So we did that 2 years. No sex. We were in the same room. We did everything together, but no sex. And God willing, we were able to have a good wedding And from now on, we have no guilt again. So I think it's a decision.
Before Emefa is clapping for you, let me ask you, how difficult or easy was it for you to go through these 2 years of staying celibate?
Attraction is always there. You see your wife that you love, you know how to make love. It is there, but it is the mind. If you are able to subject the mind, you can go through.
Thank you very much, Joseph.
Thank you
really
very
appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you very much, okay? Did you say 2 years?
2 years.
Oh,
2 years.
The Lord bless you, okay? Have a nice day, Joseph. Bye. Emmaline.
Okay, so this is a 2020 vision board, okay. All right? So you can cover vacation, you can cover family, everything, okay? Now, I'm going to, so what's one of the things you want to achieve this year?
Grow my bank account, number one.
So, like, how much would you want to achieve? Like, how much would you want to grow it by how much? See, that's another specific.
Oh, at least if I get $100,000 only this year, I'm fine.
So, $100,000.
Yes, please.
Jay.
Financial?
No, we've covered finance already. So let's take something else.
Another goal.
Maybe a career goal to be maybe this year you want to be top this, top that, like that.
It's to expand my private business into other countries.
Okay, so expansion.
Yes.
Okay.
Me?
Emefa, yes. Let's go.
Grow beautiful and stay beautiful. I never want to age.
Hey, let's go.
Let's go, dear.
Let's go there. Let me sit.
So forever young. So wellness.
Exactly.
I'm a case study.
So wellness.
You help me, wellness,
okay.
Yes.
Jay.
Before I tell you that goal, we have another caller on the line. Samuel from Takwa. Good morning.
Good morning.
Samuel, how are you doing? Talk to us.
Yeah. Ali.
Hello, Samuel.
Yeah, Ali. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, actually, I'm from Tapa.
Okay.
Yeah. And I want to ask, what time or what age is it perfectly for you to set a goal for yourself?
Right.
And number 2 question, so when you're in a relationship and the guy is trying to set a goal and the girl is not helping him or her, like, is it good? Is it good?
Support.
Because maybe the guy wants to set a relationship and wants to set a goal and the girl is not helping him. Like, is it good for you to continue with it or have to leave?
Okay, so particularly setting the goal, but not help to achieve the goal.
Yeah.
Well, we got that one, Sam. Thank you so much. Well, so he's asking, you know, that you're not getting the support from your partner with regards to a goal that you set, and even what age must you even set certain realistic goals?
Okay, that's a very good question. What happens again is that two people are in a relationship, and I'm setting a goal. Communication is key here. Have you communicated to her? This is the goal I'm setting. This is a long term. Most often, when we are communicating with women, you just don't tell a woman that, I want to do this. She wants to understand what you want to do. How are you going to get there? And
why?
And why? You need to cover all the areas.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That's a problem a lot of men have when communicating with women. We men can decide that today, I want to do this, I'm going to jump. But a woman will say, no, don't jump. Can we analyze it? Is there a way you can go using the stairs? So it's important to communicate. But long term, it is important for whoever you are with to believe in your goals, either short or long term. It's very important. It's very frustrating when you have a project and your partner is not supporting you. What happens long term is that they get to frustrate you. They don't believe in what you're doing. So it's important, number 1, to communicate. Number 2, to let them understand what you want to do. And number 3, keep letting them know what you are doing. There are times when, from the beginning, they don't see the true picture. So they are not into it. But once they see development, they see movement, they might buy into the idea. So it's just not saying that, oh, she doesn't believe my goal. What goals are you setting? And sometimes human beings, as we are, we want to see if the goal you set is good for the two of us.
Yes.
The goal you set, if it's good for me, myself. If you've set a goal that's not good for me, I will not support you. So it's important. As to when you start setting goals, you can start setting goals at any age. For example, my twins, one of them, he wants to play for Barcelona. So what does he do? I say, you start training. That's not realistic, but you know, that is good. So how do we start?
Yeah.
I enroll him into an academy. So the plan is that this year you start playing in an academy, and then from there we move to the next stage. So 8 years, he can start setting his own goal. I tell them, write it down.
Barcelona.
So yes, anytime, any age, you can start setting a goal.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, Emmaline, so...
Yeah, maybe just help me to add. So, for example, if you want to be a Barcelona football player...
I don't intend to.
Just let's assume. So, Barcelona.
Yes.
Okay, so I have 2 more.
I've got family goals. I don't know how you coined this one, but I want to be more involved in my the lives of my children.
Okay, so to be a better dada.
Very important.
To be a better dad.
I know that I need to start my PhD this year.
Hey, okay, to achieve
There's a pressure goal.
Degree.
There's a 7th box, a bonus box.
He wants to set it for me.
Yes, we are marrying here.
We are marrying here.
It's my
goal. Okay, so quickly now. So this is a vision board. So what we when we say vision, because I don't have clips, so you could put some dollar or 100, so 100,000. You put pictures of money in here.
Okay.
And then expansion of your business. You can look for, maybe you admire a particular business you want. Then you take a picture, put it there. Wellness. Somebody who you admire that is young, pretty, you put it there.
A picture of
you know, Barcelona, you put the picture of the jersey or the stadium in here. Better dad, so you put a picture of yourself and your 2 daughters together, or a father model, role model that you like or mentor, you put it here. Obviously, PhD, with your heart, you know, throw it, and then your.
Exactly.
That is it. So pictures, all right. Yeah. Now under these, now usually an action board is like having an action plan for each of these. Okay, so. You could also do another board for it to just, but for me, I'd rather say under this, if possible, if you could make it bigger, how do you achieve $100,000? So maybe investment goals. Yes. You put it there, invest. 2, maybe strategic partnerships. Yes. You put it there, things like that. So you see, each and every one of these are goals, but they are visions. But the goals you set under are practical steps that you take. So the action board or the action points are things that you must do to achieve them. Right. Now, you spoke about distraction. If you need to get here and there's something distracting from achieving this, who would you blame?
And which one would that be? The wellness.
It's wellness. She wants to remain ever young, right? It means that maybe you don't have to take too much caffeine, avoid too much sugar, but you get distracted and then you take it. It affects this. So the goals you set here determine your priorities. That is the reason why when you keep this, it said that this inspires you to be motivated. Now, a motivation board is actually something that inspires you to achieve it. You see, sometimes it can be difficult pursuing your goals because life happens, you get tired, you get frustrated. But motivation goals that, so you put quotes, I'm the best ever. So let's say, I will be rich.
Right.
I am going to have my business will expand. You know, you give affirmative words. And then you also do that according to, you know. So you also do the same thing. So it's almost like the vision board accordingly. So this, you put it there. I am a rich woman. Wellness, I am beautiful. Better dad, I am an awesome dad. You know, PhD, I am a PhD holder. Affirmative words that will inspire you. So when you get tired, because I tell people that passion is proven when there's adversity. So the motivation board is needed when you are distracted by adversity. So basically, these are practical tools you could use to help yourself to achieve your goals in 2020.
Oh, that's beautiful. Emmaline, so one question keeps coming at me now. When you're setting your goals, should they be in order of priority? Should your goal intertwine, or you can have separate goals? I don't know.
Okay, so it depends. Okay. So I can invest at the same time I can have strategic business partners. There are certain things but there are other issues that maybe I must do first. For example, without having a plan to make the money, you cannot even decide on what to invest in the first place. So certain things, because when you go to an investment banker, like what do you want to achieve? What kind of business do you want to go into? What kind of strategic partnerships do you see? If you don't have a vision, first of all, you can't even know which of the goals to go for. So some can be done concurrently. Some have to be achieved before the other. Obviously, for PhD, if you don't have master's or degree, you cannot do it.
I'm glad I've been able
How
to bag
do
that
you-
one.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, so I'm enjoying
Yes.
this one. It seems to be one of my favorites.
How do you
so far.
even come out from a failed goal that you set? Because
Yes,
sometimes that can also break you.
Yes.
And I think maybe when you come back from
When
the
we come
break,
back
we
from
can.
the break,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that. Stay with us.